Everyone, how are you all doing? My name is Deborah, and I am here to give you my review of a Chinese drama titled Crush. So go ahead and grab your tea mugs and come along with me on this journey as we discuss Crush. Let's go. Alright, so Crush is a drama that has finished airing. It had 24 episodes. It is starring Wan Peng and Evan Lin or Lin Yan Jun. And this is a drama that basically tells the story of our female lead who is played by Wan Peng, who a psychology student and also an intern at a radio station that has a dream of becoming a radio broadcaster. She is absolutely in love with this mysterious songwriter named Eugene that no one has ever seen before. And she one day meets this visually impaired guy that's named Sun Yanzin, who is our male lead, and he is extremely talented at playing the piano. He has musical talents, hint hint. And she falls in love with him at first sight. And the second time they meet, she finds out that he is actually a professor or a teacher at a special education school she has been assigned to intern at. And so she goes on a mission of making him fall in love with her. And she succeeds, but due to various reasons, they separate for 3 years and then they meet 3 years later again. And so it's a question of, do they go back to their relationship, pick up where they left off, or they never ever get it? We never ever ever get back together. Anyway, so that's what this drama is about. So this is a drama that I really thoroughly enjoyed. It is not unique in that we have seen the blind wealthy, because our main lead is blind, but he is wealthy. Why can't they be poor? Why are they always wealthy? But anyways, we have seen the blind wealthy guy fall in love with the girl who is not visually impaired. He isn't really fully blind, so I shouldn't say he's blind. He's visually impaired. So we've seen that story done before, but what I really like about the story is the backgrounds, the unique backgrounds, his background, his skill set, and also how they met. So their careers and how they met is what sets this apart for me, but also their chemistry. So our female lead is someone who's shown to be an optimist. She tends to go after what she wants. She believes in her choices. And our male lead is someone who we see, he has self-esteem issues. He is really domineering in the way he acts. He's extremely possessive. He is quick to temper. He never really fully communicates his feelings and his thoughts. He has abandonment issues. And he is quite childish. But all this, while they may sound really horrible, and you're probably like, what the? Deborah, why are you telling me to watch this? While all that is the case for our male lead, he does such, like Lin Yan Jun does such a great job in acting the character, and this is his debut. Like, this is his first time acting and stuff, so this is his debut work. But he does such a good job of portraying the character that you don't hate him. Plus, you understand why he is the way he is considering his past. If he was any other way, it would not have been realistic. But based on his past, it makes sense that that is who he is. And so that's why I really like this show. Like, he is not by any means a perfect male lead. He is so flawed, it's not even funny. But they make it work, and they make us like understand why he is the way he is. You don't have to support it, but you understand it. And that's what I really appreciate with this drama. Like I said, I really love the chemistry in this drama. They have such insane chemistry together. They have like, they're not just with their fluffy moments, not just in terms of like, oh, sexual tension, but just the way they relate with each other. I like how they're not shy of skinship, touching each other and getting close to each other. I really appreciate that. However, you also see their chemistry even in scenes where they're having intense fight. Like when you can have that sort of chemistry, like there's chemistry in their fighting, like the tension. And when I say tension, I don't mean sexual tension. I mean like anxiety inducing tension of, oh my goodness, and they're going to stab each other to death kind of tension. When you have that kind of tension and that kind of chemistry, it is palpable, so that you're enthralled and you're drawn in and you're so involved in everything that's happening and taken by everything that's happening in the screen. So that's something I really, really enjoyed with this drama. How the chemistry translated, not just in terms of like sexual, but also when they were fighting. You couldn't help but like, oh, I hate all of you, but I root for you, and oh my goodness, and you're gonna kill each other. You can't help but ask those questions and stuff. So I really like how good that was. I really like the style of directing of this drama. Prior to the 3 years where they separated, the drama had a movie-like directing and stuff, so it felt like I was watching a movie. But I did feel like after the 3 years when they meet again, it did feel like the directing came back to a normal like drama that we're used to from like youthful dramas directing and stuff. So it felt like the mood changed from 3 years prior, which was really intense, so it made sense that it was that deep and that intense, and it felt like we're watching a movie, to more of a free-hand vibe in the second half of the drama. So that's something I really, really appreciated with this drama. Also, I really appreciated May Lee's silent way of loving. I know this might not be a popular opinion, but I really appreciate how yes, he's that person who does good things behind your back. He did so much good things behind our female lead's back, and she only found out later. However, I didn't have a problem with him like not showing himself to her during the 3 years they were separated, even though he was there for her without her knowing. And the reason I say this is because our female lead was the one who told him she never wants to see him again. So he was just respecting her wishes. If he wasn't respecting her wishes, and this was a different drama, we'd be calling him a stalker, right? I mean, he still stalked in a way, but he didn't show himself to her because she said she never wanted to see him again. She didn't say she never wanted his help again. She just said she never wanted to see him again. So he didn't show himself till he felt like he really was going to lose her, and there was a threat to him being with her, and that was when he finally showed himself again to her. But for me, I appreciate that he respected her wishes, at least for as long as he could. So that's something that I really, really appreciated with this drama. I also really, really like how realistic he was, main lead was in acting, Lin Yan Jun was in his acting of a blind person. I really, really appreciated him, and also the other visually impaired person in the drama, the little kid. I really, really loved their acting. They did such good jobs in portraying those characters, so that's something I really, really appreciated. Another character I really, really liked is Xiao Lu. Xiao Lu's his assistant, who is also his relative, but I wouldn't give so much spoilers for that. But to see someone like Xiao Lu, who did not do anything wrong to Amelie, like the person who did the wrong to Amelie is someone different. Yes, it's someone related to her, but someone different. However, I felt was the one who paid for the crime, the sins of her family, which she literally did not need to do. She could have just walked away like, that ain't my problem. I didn't do this to you. Why should I have to pay for your crimes? But she literally stayed with him through all his temper tantrums, through everything. Like, yeah, there were moments where he annoyed her and they had their huge falling out and she'd leave, but she always came back. And I just have to give a shout out to her character. Like, if our main lead did not get with our female lead, I would have been totally okay if he had gotten together with Xiao Lu, but of course that's not possible because like I said, there's a relation there with their relationship, like they're related somehow. and stuff. But I really appreciated Xiaolu's character. She was literally a breath of fresh air in terms of like other characters, side characters that are there just selflessly, not really fully 100% selflessly, but I can argue for selflessness and against it. However, in this instance, I would say she was selfless in her actions in terms of just being there, because like I said, she could have chosen not to be there, but she decided to be there for him for a crime someone else committed and stuff. So I really appreciated Xiaolu's character and stuff. I really also loved how our second female lead, like we had a character that was in love with our male lead, but she wasn't really a second female lead. Like it happened for like maybe 1-2 episodes and it just died, and we knew and she knew she never had the chance. Like it was never gonna happen. That was just dead on arrival. So she wasn't a threat. And there's even this scene where the female lead realizes what's going on when she is a bitch to the female lead. She just laughs about it with her boyfriend and goes, dude, you're really hot cake, huh? Like this is how like a girl can do this to me just because she likes you, huh? And she laughs about it, which I really found refreshing, that she wasn't mad at him about it because he didn't do anything wrong. I didn't tell her to fall in love with me. How's that my problem? Stuff. So I really appreciated that. But also I appreciate how the side characters are almost non-existent. And for me, I really wasn't invested in our second lead story, like our actual second female lead, who was her best friend and her other best friend who were in love with each other. So there wasn't like our second female lead wasn't in love with our main lead in that sense. So I really like how our second leads were in love with each other, but I like how their story time and their relationship did not take away from the fact that our main leads were the main leads of the show and stuff. They got enough time, but not too much. However, I wasn't invested in their story. In fact, I feel like their story had so many plot holes. Like how they got together, it felt like our second leads never really solved their relationship issues, and they just took larger steps in order to solve their problems. Like whenever there was a huge problem, second male lead will tell his love interest that, oh, let's get married. And then they get married, and then another problem comes and it's like, okay, let's have a kid. And I'm like, you're not solving the problem. You just jump in from one thing to another thinking that thing will solve the problem. And it solves the problem for that instance, but there's still the roots there, right? So for me, I didn't like their romance for that reason, because it felt like they never fully solved or talked through their problems. We just jumped to something huge and that's miraculously solved their issues. So that was like my main issue with those side couples relationship. And like I said, they're side couples. That's like our second side couple. So there wasn't really anything major. It doesn't really affect the storyline. They didn't even add to the script. So I'm like, I feel like we could have done without them, but maybe they needed to add them to elongate the story. However, the script could definitely have done without them. I also like how even though we had a parent who tried to force their opinion on the child, and that's our female lead's family and stuff, even our male lead to an extent, but especially our female lead's family, I like how our female lead always stood her ground and she went, look here, this is my life, I know what I'm doing, let me make the mistake. And then finally when things hit the fan, she went, okay, now I have made this decision. This is what has come of our relationship, and we have to separate based on my decision. And now I see what my parents might have been talking about when they made the comments that they made before, but it wasn't based on what the parents said to her. She didn't separate with him because of what her parents said. It was because of his own actions and what led to that. So that's something I really appreciated with this drama. I love that they're teaching in a special education school. I also love how the drama kept on putting warnings for unrealistic actions that were taken in the drama, that hey, this is a drama, please don't try this in real life. So I really like that. I also like how even though our male lead and our female lead were apart from each other for those 3 years, we knew that they loved each other, and they never denied that they loved each other to themselves. They still kept, like, they'll tell other people, they might tell other people, hey, we're not interested, but they knew to themselves that hey, I still like this person and stuff. So I really appreciated that. If there's something I'd say I didn't like about this drama is I didn't like how the hallucination our female lead had towards the end was not fully fleshed. I wish they had done more with that. I'm not gonna give more spoilers than that. I wish they had done more with that, but that wasn't fully fleshed, so it didn't have the effect it should have had on us. I also found it slightly troubling that she was a psychology major, but she never used any of her psychological knowledge on her relationship or on herself, and her friend had to be the one reminding her of things that she had studied. And I'm like, I know you were forced to go into this field of study. However, like, you should have let something to stop you from reacting the way you're reacting, or understand your boyfriend more based on his past and stuff. So that was something that I sometimes had a problem with, and I'm like, are you really a psychology student? Like, are you really a psychologist and stuff? So that was something I had an issue with. I also had an issue with I never seen her meeting the little blind girl again. Like, that relationship was something that I feel like they should have shown us, because they had shown us the girl complaining about not seeing our female lead again. So that's something I wish they had shown, the reestablishing of that relationship after 3 years. And something else I had a problem with is the reason for the breakup. Like, the main climax of why our leads broke up felt too contrived. It felt like they put in that conflict specifically to break up our leads. And personally, sometimes I wouldn't have an issue with that, because we do need something specifically put in there to make conflict, right? However, it was so blatant and it wasn't expressed and given to us, dished right, and hence it came out weak, and it came out feeling contrived, and it came out feeling like a weak point for the drama. So that's something that I wish they had done differently, not necessarily changed, but I wish they had presented it to us differently and not so forcefully that it felt like they were just forcing this to happen so the leads have something that tears them apart. So that was my main issue with the drama. Also, I did feel like the elevators as a point of like conflict for certain situations was overused. It was an overused theme in the drama and stuff. So yeah, some revelations definitely fell flat and felt unrealistic and felt forced. But apart from that, it was a definitely enjoyable show. I also really liked the growth of the characters, be it negative or positive, but we did have character growth in this drama. For example, our female lead, Wan Peng's character, started as someone who was very bright, who basically brightened our male lead's life and brought sunshine to his dark world. But due to everything that happens to her that leads to their breakup, she changes into someone who isn't as sure of her decisions as she was before. Because remember, I did tell you that she was someone who is always sure of her choices. When she decides on something, she goes after it. I mean, she chased our male lead, right? And so, but she changes into someone who thinks twice before she acts, who isn't really sure of herself, who doubts herself. While our male lead, who was someone who only really showed his domineering side with our female lead, who is extremely self-conscious, becomes more confident after 3 years because of the change that he has experienced and the operation that he had. I don't want to give too much spoilers, so if you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. Because of the operation that he had and the ability that it has given him, he becomes more confident, he becomes more bright, and so he becomes the brightness in our female lead's life that helps to steer her back to who she was before, who helps her find her way again to become the bright person that she once was in the past. But you still see those traces of things and situations where she's unsure of herself, and he helps her through that, and he walks with her through that. So that's something I really appreciated about this drama. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. The chemistry was absolutely awesome in this drama and stuff, so I definitely enjoyed it. I can see myself rewatching this drama. If I'm gonna rate this drama, I'm definitely gonna rate this drama an A-. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below if you've already checked it out, and if you've not, definitely give it a try. I'll put a link down below for where you can watch it. Don't forget to give this video a like, don't forget to share, subscribe, and keep being awesome, beautiful people you are. From me to you all, you know, because nothing but love for you all. Stay awesome.